Alrighty then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome, one and all. My name is Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Curse of the Crimson Throne. Our Pathfinder 2nd Edition rendition of the 1st Edition adventure of Pathfinder Curse of the Crimson Throne. Joining me today are my wonderful and amazing Patreons who come and support the channel, help me keep the show alive, and continue to do all these cool, wacky, and amazing things. Guys, say hello to the folks at home.
Hello.
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 Yay! It's so good to see Cass's smiling face. I don't know what happened. It's just like we're all Hero Forge minis at this point. But but it's so good to see everyone, and of course our wonderful and amazing audience, who unfortunately I can't see today. So for those of you who are unaware, I am currently abroad traveling through Europe. I am currently in Thessaloniki in Greece, which has been quite fun, quite amazing. I went to a big dam out in the country and I had some delicious food, which was amazing. And I'm coming to you at the brim hour of 2 a.m. here. So I'm trying to keep the intimate dag voice, the one where I get to whisper and speak very closely to you, like I'm talking out of a 1960s horror movie. And that is when the car's engine stalled for the second time. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, well, it is Halloween-ish time, I guess. So, there you go. But for those of you who didn't know, I will be traveling back to Australia mid this week. So yay! We should be back to our regular schedule with no interruptions very soon. Thank you for everyone being patient and stuff and being so understanding. Before we begin, let's take a quick moment to thank the people responsible for our hype train, you bloody beautiful legends, you. Much, much, much appreciated. Thank you for all of the love and all of the subs and all the bits and all the things. As mentioned, because I am using my phone for everything, I can't see what they are, but know that they come with much love and much appreciation, so thank you. Now, before we begin, we have, of course, our sponsors to thank as well, but we are using a couple of them, so we're just going to give them a shout-out, but, you won't get to see them showcased here today, and that is, of course, Fantasy Grounds, which is our VTT that we normally use, and Sirenscape, which is our audio soundboard that we use. Again, neither of these we're going to be using because we are going skeleton on our adventures here, so it's just all theater of the mind and wild gestures and things. But we are, however, pleased to say that we are still using our Hero Forge minis that you guys can see on screen here. Even the good old Dag is a Hero Forge mini in today's episode. So there you go. If you guys want a cool 3D mini and you want to perhaps gift one to a loved one before Christmas, hey, consider going and playing around in Hero Forge and getting your own mini made and sent to you wherever you are worldwide. Okay. Well, before we kick off, let's of course introduce you to the main stars of our show, the characters who will be embarking on today's adventure. I will turn it over now to my players to tell you all about who they're playing and, share a bit of their journey with you. Take it away.
Hello, I'm Malikisa, and I play Holly. Holly is a fairy noble who, instead of getting married like she was supposed to, decided she was going to leave and never ever come back. So she wound up in Corvosa and found some amazing people, of which Dante is the only one left of the original. Had some adventures, decided that she wanted to save some orphans and wound up selling her soul to Asmodeus to do so. And now she's a cleric of Asmodeus, and her former fiance just decided to up and kill her entire family. So she's also feeling the vengeance right now. Yeah. On to you, Marcus.
Did Marcus fall into the bathroom?
Yeah, maybe he fell off a ladder or something. Well, hope he didn't.
Okay.
Ladder.
Yeah. Well, just
like,
we'll remember to put it in. We'll put it.
Hello?
We'll put it in memoriam.
There he is. There he is.
Oh, okay. I think I
accidentally muted when I meant to unmute. Anyway, hi, yes, I'm Marcus. I'm playing Alexander, the Hell Knight wizard from the Order of the Gate. He is also from Corvosa, the younger brother to Cressida Croft. Is currently suffering from a split soul as he now has an evil twin sister who shares a soul, which is very weird, is being chased by a death chariot. A lot of things are happening. And then on to Agnes.
Hello, I'm Laura Bones, and I play Agnes, who is a psychic and originally a Varisian traveler. She moved to the city of Corvosa to raise her daughter after her husband was killed by a ferocious lion, tiger, cat thing. But we have sought vengeance upon that, so it is fine now. And now she's out upon this mission to, just save a city for, well, both herself and her daughter, who she has left behind. She's old enough, it's fine, don't worry about it, folks. Yeah, and she just wants to get back to have a date with Fisherman Dan, and then it's game over.
Hi. I inhaled and then suddenly humidity hit. Okay, I think I'm done with that coughing fit. Hi, I'm Raikon playing Dante, a Kitsune druid from the local forest of Corvosa. After a friend passed away due to the drug Pesh, he had gone to try and find the culprit of who is originally gave it to them, found them with a Dragon lamb, and then found out he was not the person who was actually giving it out fully. So he went on to find them after also meeting up with all the other people that only Holly is out of the original group. Still trying to figure out where things are going at this moment in time because he isn't even sure what's even going on right now.
Wait. What do you mean you don't know what's going on right now?
I mean, actually, right now, I don't even really remember what happened fully last session.
You know the thing where you're going to go and try and find the means and weapon to defeat the giant evil dragon spirit that's taking over the queen.
Yeah, but I'm meaning if for this particular situation, it's I don't even remember what happened last week.
You're on a canoe, heading in the sewers down through an underwater river towards Scarwall.
Right.
You fought a giant fish. It had a little angler Dubawaki thing. Tried to lure you in. Tried to eat you.
He's
Clearly,
still a crocodile.
clearly I was gonna say clearly the dangers I've been throwing against Rykon haven't been memorable enough. So I guess I'm gonna have to try just a little harder. I feel like I'm just such a disappointment now. I'm beside myself. I'm literally beside myself, Rykon, and I'm gonna fix that. I'm so sorry
I'm
that
used to
that
having
you've
maps,
experienced
so that helps a
No,
lot more.
it's
If I
fine. No,
die
it's
because
not.
of you, Icon,
No, we're good. I swear we're
if I
good.
die because of you, my next character is going to just purely be to spite you specifically.
Calm down, brat
Um,
boy.
we have good fun. And last but not least, we have.
Hello, I'm Kath. I am playing Elizaro, who is a secretary bird swashbuckler. After a mishap with her best boy, her best horse, she's now going to get him back, and she's also having a little bit of an existential crisis. So that's always fun. Basically, she's Big Bird with a sword.
That is very astute, yes. Now, unfortunately, we do not have a Brit today who plays the role of Thea the Necromancer. We do wish Brit well, as she is currently amidst exams. So, good luck, Brit. Hope that you are doing well wherever you are. And we will make sure not to kill your character. And even if they do die, I guess you can just resurrect them. So, I mean, meh. All right. Well, before we kick off, guys, we have one last person to thank, and that is, of course, our lovely and amazing audience members. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for being a part of the show, and just hanging out and giving us your time. It means so much that even amidst all of our delays and tech stuff and canceled shows, you've still come to our sessions and had a great time and been here. And as such, guys, we always, as you know, we do, continue to try and include you guys as best we can into each and every one of our shows. And we do this through a number of different ways, starting with channel points, which can be used at any point in time to basically influence the game while we play, inspiration, insight bonuses, wandering monsters, and divine interventions, and a whole bunch of other cool things. But for those of you who are able to donate generously, we have a number of rewards that you guys can use to, hey, you know, like, do other cool things. First of all, for $5, you can donate to give a hero point to a player of your choice, or a jinx point to me. Hero points are these little red marks that can be used to stave off death, petition the GM for nonsense under the rules, or roll with advantage. The purple marks are used as jinx points for the GM to counteract hero points, have bad guys roll with advantage, or complicate things ever so slightly. For $10, I will draw from one of two decks I have in front of me. The first is a deck of plot twists, which allow me to randomly generate a plot twist that will go into the story. The second is a deck of heroic actions, where a player of your choosing will get a free action that also serves as a hero point that adds a little tiny superpower to them that they can use during the game. For $20, you can give someone the coveted golden natural 20, which of course serves as a natural 20, because sometimes you just need shit to win, and that's just how it works. For $50, you can donate to provide a magic item to a player of your choice. This can be an item of homebrew design that you create, an item you would like me to design, or you can provide something from the player's wish list. Alternatively, if you woke up in the morning and chose violence, you can instead use that $50 to increase the difficulty of a boss battle, making it even harder, adding more stakes, making things more dangerous. There's a whole bunch of ways that can be played out, but yeah, you basically just make things even harder. And last but not least, for the $100 secret menu item, a big, massive change happens in the world or in the game as we are playing. Now, for today, our secret menu item is thus. As mentioned, our heroes are currently heading through the lands of Belksin via an underground or underwater system of, I guess, kind of like rapids, underwater rapids, underground rapids that our heroes have been traveling. And, well, the heroes have been doing so well with their modes of transportation that I figured it's about time I reward them with some measure of ability themselves to be able to move or transport and the like. Now, as noticed, we have a few members of our group who have the ability to fly, this of course being both Holly and Alizara. For the $100 secret menu item, I'm going to provide Alizaro with a unique ability. This is the ability to transform into a giant version of the secretary bird, one large enough to pull basically a glider chariot through the sky as a mode of transportation. So this will provide them not only with transportation of that nature, but she will transform into a huge creature that will come with all of the buffs that entail with that, which can also be used for combat purposes too. So if they want to transform, yada yada yada, they can do that. As for how often they can do this, it will require a focus. So basically, as long as They can meditate for a while. They can transform into this flight form. Yeah, so there you go. That is the secret menu item for today. Now, before we kick off, we do have a couple of donations to get through, starting with we have a couple of pre-show ones. So first of all, there is a magic item that was provided to Thea, which we will provide to Thea next week when they are hopefully here with us. We have a boss buff, which is carrying over from last week, but we are amidst that at the start of today's session, so that is already being taken care of. What else do we have going on for today?
Okay, we have Marcus donated magic items, a ring of wizardry for Alexander, and the next item for Dante's item set.
Very nice. Okay.
A nat 20 for Dante and 2 hero points for Alexander.
Okay.
We have I am topped off on hero points. And it looks like Pokemon Steve just unlocked the secret menu item.
Cookie. Now look, okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to get you to read those again, with who donated to the other things as well, because I want to thank everyone properly. So first of all, thank you, Marcus, for your donations, even though you donated a magic item to yourself, you cheeky fuck. Yes, you're very lucky
Hey,
that
look,
you
I
also
donated-
donated to someone. Look, you're
I
lucky
was-
you donated to someone else as well, because I was sitting there going, but that's fine. Yes, you will get your items. So thank you for your kindness and your generosity. And it's not just those ones as well. Thea's magic item, also thank you very much for that one as well. I'm sure she will love that when she gets it. Then we had what was the other donations? The hero points.
I think Mally donated hero points to Alexander, and it looks like Steve and Schooly Eye donated the nat 20 for Dante.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mally, for the donation. Thank you. Sorry, you said Steve? Was it Cookie again?
Yep.
Thank you, Cookie, and of course, thank you, Schooly, for your kind and generous donation. Every single one of these donations obviously goes so far in not only maintaining the channel and keeping everything up and running, but also making sure I get home safely at the moment. So much appreciated. Also, Cookie. Now, listen, Cookie. I love the fact that you have, in the last few weeks, become a very valued and beloved part of the streams here at the Dead as a Gamer channel. I love that you are enjoying the show, and I love that you are here supporting not only myself but also our beloved mutual friend Cass. We know there's a love for Cass, but I need to just be sure, and I will tell you this: it comes from a place of love. I appreciate the donations and I love them to bits, but please also make sure that you are taking care of yourself. I don't presume to know people's circumstances and the like, but you've been very generous and kind. And we here at the Dead as a Gamer have a saying, which is please donate generously, but as always, donate responsibly. And if at any point in time, it's not like we will love you less if we don't get those, but thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. It means so much. And like I said, these big donations are kind of the ones that put me like a big step towards my goal of maintaining everything. So thank you. Okay. Okay,
We just
big
got
emotions,
rated
man.
by the Phoenix Path.
Hey, Phoenix Path, thank you so much for the raid, you bloody beautiful legends. You've come just in time for the start of our adventure. How was your stream? How did everything go? I'm sure the shout out has already gone out. Before we kick off, a couple of things. First of all, I can't read chat because I am abroad. I'm currently in Europe. I'm in Greece. So thank you for coming, and we hope you stick around. We have a group of individuals ready to embark on their continued adventure. We have Holly, the cleric of Asmodeus, who is a fairy. We have Alexander, who is a Hell Knight from the Order of the Gate. We have Agnes, who is a psychic tarot reading Varisian woman. We have Kitsune Druid named Dante, we have Thea, who is a necromancer, who is not here today, and we have Alazaro, an awakened secretary bird delivery person. So there you go. This is our group. As for our story, our heroes are currently doing battle against an evil queen who is currently possessed by the evil spirit of a dragon who was long since slain by a hero of ancient times. Our heroes are journeying across the lands of Belkson, the Orcish lands, in order to try and find the castle known as Scarwall, the last known location and resting place of the hero who slayed the dragon in the first place. They're hoping to find a weapon, or tool, or something to be able to help destroy the Crown of Thorns and free the Queen from the clutches of this evil dragon. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and hopefully somebody in the chat will be able to either answer or point the question to me, and then I will answer. We have donations and all this other stuff. Yeah, exclamation, GM, etc. Blah blah blah. They'll tell you how to do things. Okay. Oh, sorry, we're running a little bit behind. So, shall we kick off, ladies and gentlemen?
Indeed.
All right. Well, without any further ado, our journey continues. In the lands of Belkson, the blighted sun burns the Badlands with its scorching heat. The sounds of the Auroch as their hooves trample the dry and dusky lands below can be seen traveling across these large and relatively inhospitable lands ruled by varying warlords and tribes of Orcish warriors, each with a thirst for blood, power, and vengeance. These lands are difficult to traverse at the best of times, but our heroes have managed to curry the favor of an Orcish warlord and have found a passage that'll help them cut through these landscapes unnoticed and arrive at the small fortress of Scarwall. Deep underground in a river that travels rapidly through, winding around and underneath the roiling landscapes, we see our heroes aboard a small vessel that was shipped off and sent in the direction of Scarwall. Our heroes have been traveling with very little light, but at a very, very fast speed, fending off against the creatures that lurk down beneath here. Creatures such as this large, fey-like fish being that our heroes managed to defeat. They managed to also save our armored warrior, Alexander, from a watery death, thanks to the efforts of our shape-shifting druid, who had transformed into a giant crocodile and currently sails alongside this massive vessel. But danger is not yet over, as further up ahead, something strange seems to appear from the dark. The din gives way to what looks to be a large, translucent green wall. It is then our heroes realize that they are racing towards a gelatinous cube, one who has placed itself at the very surface of the rapids as our boat and its occupants careen towards an acidic doom. Roll initiative.
Well, I don't like the whole Doom thing. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah, 32.
Doom.
I rolled pretty bad, but not too far behind you.
36 for Holly.
Okay, so to be clear, once again, we have an order in which we put things down, so that things are nice and easy for one of our volunteers to be able to put it into our group chat while I'm away, because I can't memorize these things and I have no way to write it down, and we will do our best here. So
Type it
let's-
in the chat so that we can at least all see what it is and get it all set up.
Cool. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Holly.
Oh, that's me. Oh, sorry. 36.
Mm-hmm.
32.
21.
28.
20.
Okay, perfect. And could I get chat to roll exclamation D20 for the gelatinous cube.
And of course, Scully gets a nat 20.
Yeah, Scully is not allowed to roll. That's against the rules.
Scully is exclusively always allowed to roll. All right, what do we get? Someone does need to read me out the results.
Well, we got nat 20 from Scully. 10,
Oh, brilliant! Thank you.
6, 15, and 4.
No, I don't need to know. I don't need to know the whole list, but thank you for your efforts. A 27 is plenty. So 27 is the gelatinous cube. All right. That is our initiative order. Okay. Who's first?
Holly.
That would be Holly.
That would be me.
All right. Take it away.
The gelatinous cube is living, right?
That's a very interesting question. How does one define life? After all, the creature eats, it digests, it poops, it moves with a purpose to eat, digest, and poop. But it doesn't really have the kind of intelligence or sapience that one would normally consider to be, like that of a living creature. Like it doesn't sort of mate. It reproduces asexually. After all, I mean, what is life?
Does it have a soul?
I just want to know if my spell's going to work on it, and my spell is for living creatures.
Well, I guess you're going to have to try shooting it to find out, or make an appropriate roll with a lore check that'll be relevant to the oozes.
I don't have ooze lore.
Sad.
Would that not be nature or arcana?
I do think it's
Probably Arcana.
because of how they are made.
Probably Arcana.
I'm just gonna cast it and see what happens. That's a Holly thing to do.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Cast it. Who is doing the ooze save?
We're gonna have the chat to make the ooze save. So exclamation D20 in chat, and we're gonna use the third result that comes up.
Oh, I like that third result. Good stuff.
Do we want to read out who it was and what it is for Dag, who, again, to reiterate, cannot read these things?
Dead like me, dead rolled a 4.
Dead like me rolled a 4. Okay, what am I rolling the save from?
Ripping out the spirit.
Do you
What's the
want to
save?
tell me? Yep.
Tell you what, huh?
You need to tell me the parameters of the spell.
What are they saving against?
Oh, it's a fortitude save.
Okay, so that is an 18 on the fortitude save.
So
And what are the tags for your spell?
Tags?
If you look at the very top of the spell, it'll give a number of tags as well.
There's traditions and traits.
It would be the traits.
Okay. Death and negative.
Death and negative. Okay, carry on. Roll your damage.
It's a lot of D6s.
Also, feel free to take the time while you are rolling stuff to describe your casting.
Sorry, I'm doing math right now. 34 damage. And Holly's basically standing up kind of at the back of the raft where she was hiding previously. And she kind of puts her hands together and then reaches out towards the gelatinous cube as this like streak of just jet black comes out of her hands and settles on top of the cube, kind of coating it with a substance.
Okay. You watch as this black stain appears on the cube. The cube doesn't seem to do anything, just kind of remains there, but now there's this kind of black stain on it.
It doesn't take any damage.
You don't know, maybe.
Ugh. Well, on that note, Holly is going to duck back behind where she was hiding previously and kind of remain at this point.
Okay, not a problem. You take cover behind your allies. All right, who's next?
That would be me. How far away exactly are we?
You are currently 40 foot away. You will hit it in the next round.
Okay, so if I cast Fireball, I'd end up hitting us too then, because it's 20-foot
Presently,
burst.
presently, no,
All right,
because
perfect.
you can technically cast the fireball in the center of where the creature is.
I can, and I shall do that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to use Fireball, and I have it set to 5th level. So I need it to make a reflex save, I believe. Let me double check.
Okay, chat.
Yes.
All right, chat. Exclamation D20, and I will take the second result on this one.
I think that's an 8. Was the second one?
Yeah, OG rolled an 8, and that was the second result.
Oh, OG with an 8 brings us to 10 on its reflex.
That is a critical failure because mine is 29 is the DC.
All right, roll your damage.
Does it take the crit damage? Because I know we
It is
fought a
immune to
slime
crits.
before. Okay, so it just takes the normal mac. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Alexander claps his hands together as he conjures up this huge ball of fire and flings it at the thing. And that is a grand total of 23 fire damage.
Okay, very nice. All right. You can now see
Oh,
several.
I screwed up. That's. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Never mind. I didn't screw up. I thought I did, but I
Okay.
didn't.
All right. With that, our heroes continue to race towards it. It takes even more damage, and now several parts of it seem to be burnt slightly, maybe bubbling a little bit, a lot less viscous in those areas as the heat burnt through it. Who's next?
I still have one more action
Oh, sure. What do you want to do?
because Fireball's a 2 action. I'm going to use my focus spell, Force Bolt, which I fire an arrow-shaped bolt of force, and it automatically hits and deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage, but because it's a focus spell, it is heightened to 3d4 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it will automatically take 9 force damage.
Okay. Done and done.
Yeah. And that's it.
All right. Where does that bring us?
That would be me, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, because if I remember correctly now, after a reminder of what we were doing last session, I am a crocodile that
Mm-hmm.
is stuck behind the makeshift canoe.
Yes, you are.
And the only way I'd be able to do anything really is transforming back, which which would be bad because then I'd be in the water.
You can climb on, and as you are climbing on, as part of it, you can transform back.
Okay. That will take all my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could try and stop us from careening into the gelatinous cube by trying to slow down the canoe.
Could do that too if you like.
At least try and give us another round at least of before smacking to it. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do.
Okay. You swim underneath the canoe, and as you do so, you, at your size, can very easily start to rise upwards underneath it, swimming against the current in order to try and keep the canoe away from the ooze. This will indeed buy you a. I'll let this buy you a round.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping at least that much.
Sure, not a problem. All right, well done, Dante. After Dante,
It is the slime.
the slime. Well, it starts to move towards you, but can't really catch up to you guys. So yeah, just sort of slips towards you, and then that is it. Who's next?
Oh yes,
Here we go. Oh, carry on.
Sorry. It was just for Alexander's crit, but not crit. Does he still get a crit card?
No,
Okay, I just had to be sure.
Joe.
Okay, I'm gonna do the only thing Agnes can do that isn't a psychic spell, because I don't think oozes have minds.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they do not.
Agnes will, I think this one, because it's quite an easy one, she just kind of like squints her eyes and this kind of like stuttering bolt of energy flies towards the ooze as she casts Phase Bolt. Boom.
Nice.
For 25 to hit.
All right, 25 to hit will hit.
And then it takes 15 piercing damage.
Nice. All right, as a strikes into the body of the creature, it does not look great. Sorry, dying.
Bless you.
All right,
Alright,
I guess
the
that
creature
would.
is still alive.
Sorry.
No, sorry. The creature is still alive, but injured from the blast.
Right, then that would be me. I am going to stay at the front of the boat where I was last week, and I am going to shoot with my crossbow. Yeah. Oh, that didn't. Okay, let me try it again. Yeah. That is a 31 to hit.
31 will hit.
That is 3 points of piercing damage. And I will shoot one more time.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
And that is another 3 points of piercing damage. And I'm actually not going to use my third action because I am very low on crossbow bolts.
Sure, not a problem. Okay. Very well. What is Alizaro out of curiosity?
Alazaro is a swashbuckler.
Okay.
She has 3 crossbolts left out of the original supply that she had on arrival.
Okay, and you don't have Flying Blade as a trait, do you? as one of your class features.
Let me double check. I do not believe I do, but I don't think so. Nope. Unfortunately, no, that is not one of my things in my abilities.
All right, not a problem. All right, with the crossbow bolt having flown into the creature and taking cover again, we then move on to our next hero.
Holly.
Back at the top of the round.
Back to me. Holly looks a little concerned because it seems like the slime took more damage from the fire. So Holly's going to flame strike this thing.
Okay, not a problem.
Centered behind
Exclamation D20 in chat, and let's see if we can get to this dodge.
it. It is a basic
I will.
reflex save.
I will choose the first one.
Nice. That's a 2.
Dang. No, I'm not calling them well today. Okay. That would be a 5.
That would be a critical failure.
That is a critical failure, but it is immune to crits, so.
Oh, that's a bummer. Do I still get to do crit damage to it?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what immune to crits sounds like.
that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I would have did 20d6 points of damage to it. I would have fried it.
If it has fire resistance, it only gets to use half of its fire resistance.
It does not have fire resistance.
Okay, cool. That's 36 points of damage.
Okay. More of it seems to burn as you strike it. Your holy fire ignites and you watch as more of it seems to discolor.
Yes. And actually, with her last action, Holly is going to cast Divine Lance, which is a cantrip and only one action.
Okay. Make your attack. This is at a -5 as it is your second attack action.
That still counts as an attack action?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes me sad, but okay. Should have done that one first. Okay. I rolled a 12, and then I add to it 14, so that's a 26.
That'll hit. Do your damage.
Yay! It's not a lot. And this is evil damage for 16 points.
Okay. The ooze takes another shot from this divine lance and is still standing. It's hard to tell, but there's lots of holes, lots of burns, lots of discoloration. But the ooze still remains, at least for now.
Uh-oh. Come on, guys.
All right. That means it's my turn again.
Mm-hmm.
I will use my free action drain bonded item, which lets me absorb the magical energy from said bonded item, and it will let me recast a spell I have already cast, and I will recast my level 5 fireball, so I need another reflex save.
Okay. Exclamation D20 from chat. And let's go with number 4.
That is a 7.
Oof. Okay, that is a 9.
Sweet. So sad that it's not crit damage, but... And that is 48 points of damage.
All right, with 48 points of damage, the final leg has been pushed, and the creature falls into the water, dissolving and vaporizing. Your ship passes over the area where the ooze was harmlessly as you make your way on your adventures.
Good work, team. Good work.
Yay!
Guys.
High fives and cheers all around as you celebrate your victory. But the journey is not yet over. But this leg is, however, as you find yourself making your way to what looks to be an underground dockyard. You hear the sounds of accordion music, several cheers and sneers as what look to be pirates, maybe, seem to be gathered by this dock, where various rafts, very similar to your own, seem to be docked among the various walkways and boardwalks. The foul-smelling air here indicates that the highly rich iron mineral water that now resides in this underground water tablet makes this place a rather unpleasant and foul-smelling place to live. A number of ramshackled buildings made of bits of driftwood and salvaged bits of material make up a variety of different homes here along the edge of this underground river. And as you arrive, you notice that the denizens here are not orcs, but demi-human creatures who are wrapped in various bits of cloth and fabric. It is hard to see anyone's true visage or true face. These are the dark folk. Otherwise known as... Sorry, one moment. Otherwise known as the Caligni. What do you do?
Let's find somewhere to dock. Is there like an empty space we can pull up at, or does it not look like there's a particular dock? It's just free for all.
It's kind of free for all, yeah.
Holly is going to cast prestidigitation on everyone to get them cleaned up from the sewer slime.
Sure, not a problem.
Oh, thank you, dearie. Okay, oh, there looks like a good spot. Dante, are you still a crocodile? Because if so,
It lasts a minute, so it depends on GM on how long that lasts.
Okay, never mind.
It is no longer lasting, so yeah, you're
Is
good.
there like an oar or a keel or anything on this?
You don't need to investigate. I'm not going to make it into a thing. You pull into the dock and you disembark your vessel.
I just imagine Agnes looking around now for like an oar or something, and the boat's just going in a straight line. It's like, well, we're fucked.
Yeah, that's it. Bye. You just whiz past this entire town. I just continued to go. I was like, oh man, if only I added a bit more realism into my game, I wouldn't have to send you continued on this adventure and away. Unfortunately, there's no way for you to get off this boat, and your characters all just die from an endless voyage in the underground. You pull into the dock, and as you do so, you are immediately bombarded with a number of rather short, skulking individuals who immediately begin to try to palm off various wares from on you. The items that they produce are of mixed quality, mostly trinkets and baubles and stuff, likely many of which stolen from or acquired through the raids of the various orcs that live in this area. A silver necklace for the beautiful woman. Yes, come here, please. This will sell you for very cheap. 2 silver for the beautiful woman. Yes. Ah, fox person, behold, a comb from Tianzia. Make your hair feel silky and smooth. And they just keep, like, again, there's just millions of things.
Could I attempt to like scare him off?
Sure, make an intimidate check.
All right. And because of my greater devil mask, I think I get a +1. I do. I get a +1 bonus to that. So that is a total of that is a 32.
Okay. As you basically just glare and stare down these guys, many of them begin to give you a bit of a wide berth, and yeah, you've definitely kind of scared them a little bit.
Let's get moving before they try to rip one of you off.
Agnes is just scowling at your back as you walk away. She's just not saying a word though. She's keeping her mouth shut. And she's just walking after you.
Where are you walking to? Is the question.
Also,
Very dramatically, you begin to walk into the small ramshackle town, but you don't really see an elevator or a beam of white light or a sign saying exit this way.
so Agnes will turn back around again and go back to the scurrying people that came
Oh,
up
I
to
Oh,
never
they run
said.
away. They
Oh.
they run away from you.
Yeah, I never said I continue. I just said I'd scare them off. And I was talking to the group and I said, let's
Mm-hmm.
go find some place before they try to rip you guys off.
Is there
That was
anybody?
my fault for not.
You didn't have to be mean about it.
Are there any other people about? I don't know, stall sellers, people watching boats, people mending boats.
Taking a good look around, you can see that there are a number of different stalls, but unlike the creatures who skulk around, these dudes seem a little taller. They seem to have very, very pallid skin, still covered in the same sort of wet robes that the other ones were in. But yeah, they seem a little bit more akin to humans. You see that there is one individual who seems to be a laborer of some kind. He is lifting a variety of large sacks and moving them around from place to place. There's a person here who seems to be a fisher person of some kind and is prepping several buckets of bait. The last individual looks like trouble with a capital T.
Right, so we'll just avoid that one. She will. Is the labourer carrying stuff currently?
No, he is putting
Okay.
stuff down.
Right, cool. Because she's not going to talk to somebody and make them stand there while they're holding stuff. I've been there and it's terrible. It's like, dude, let's put the thing down. Yeah, so I think she'll wander over and just go, excuse me.
The individual looks at you. You notice that underneath the ragged bits of cloth, this creature seems to be wearing armor. He looks you up and down and says, "Surface dwellers, we do not often see your kind down here."
Well, to be fair, this is my first time down here. We took a wee boat trip. And well, now frankly, we're just looking for a way to get back, well, up to the surface again. I don't suppose you'd be able to help. I do have a few coins for your trouble. Nothing fantastic, but you know.
He, well, he's going to inspect how many coins is a few coins.
Okay, she doesn't want to appear too flashy, but she doesn't want to insult him. So what's the currency in this? It's silver, isn't it? Or gold?
Silver primarily, yeah.
It does, so does copper still exist as well, or
Copper does exist, yes.
again on the 10-to-1 scale? Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
I think she'll give him 2 silver to start.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think that's still a reasonable amount of money for a labourer, really, in all fairness.
All right. He says, you have to speak to the mole riders. They'll take you up.
The mole riders, right? And where would I find one of those?
The stables. You're in luck. They've just come through after a raid. But be warned, they like to drink after a good, successful raid. You may have some trouble convincing them without good coin. He looks at the 2 silver you've given him and sort of pockets it, presuming you're poor or like you don't have much money.
Well, sometimes money's not the only lubrication that works. And Agnes will walk off. Right, well, apparently, when she gets back to the group, we just need to find the stables and the mole. Was it mole riders?
Correct.
Oh, and the mole riders. Now, I'm not too sure whether they're people that ride moles or people that are moles that ride, but I suppose we'll find out when we get there. And there may be some drinking involved, or at least some drunk people, whichever, I suppose, takes your fancy. You much of a drinker, Ro?
No, not really. Doesn't sit right on my stomach.
Right,
Ugh.
probably not a good time to start now, then.
Oh, I just realized we don't have a Holly.
We don't. I presume her computer or her internet has failed her.
Most like a computer since it froze earlier.
All right. As you make your way towards the tavern, you eventually find a small place called the Crud Bucket.
Lovely.
As you enter, it has a very unique smell. As mentioned, the iron here is quite thick. It cakes the walls of this rather meager establishment. And you can see that the Caligni here seem to be in various states of gambling and drinking and the like. But it's not only Caligni you find. There are a few orcs, a couple goblins, some bugbears, and some hobgoblins. You also see the occasional kobold running around here as well. There's a mixed group of individuals that happen to be here. As you were looking for particular Caligni, the Mole Riders, you do see over by one of the gambling tables, one of the individuals who's holding the cards seem to be wearing a pair of gloves that are very reminiscent of leather gloves made from the giant mole. Good place to start, perhaps. But you, of course, can go wherever you would like, inspect whoever you would like, and talk to whoever you would like.
Well, Agnes will go to the bar. She'll ask if anybody wants a drink. She'll just get, I don't know, whatever seems like on tap. That's not super strong, perhaps. Like whatever the equivalent of like lager is.
Well, basically, it's called cactus milk.
Okay.
Is it quenchy?
It is the quenchiest.
That's it.
Alexander will order one.
Okay, so she'll get drinks for whoever wants one, and then she's gonna see if there's room at the that table of cards?
Looking down, there is indeed room at the table. There is what looks to be a gold-toothed hobgoblin. There is a the man with the mole gloves. There is a goblin with an eye patch. However, he is wearing the eye patch, but like kind of changes eyes every now and then.
I was about to say, but he's got a
And
good eye.
yeah, pretty much. And you can see that there is a lizard folk. This one looking like an iguana of some kind. They're playing a game of cards. As you watch as one of them stands up and says, "The round is mine. Come on, pay up. You know what we want." And you watch as they kind of go, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." The lizard folk stands up and he's just like, he looks really grumpy. It looks like he's about to strip, but instead of stripping, he takes an axe and cuts off his tail and then places it on the table. As he does so, everyone cheers and he's like, "Yeah!" Oh, the lizard folk goes, "Next time." And he'll storm off. I'd say with his tail between his legs, but his tail is on the table.
Just do a quick nature
The
check to see if lizard folk grow their tails back. Or
this one does, yes.
sweet.
However, this big hunk of very juicy lizard folk meat is very desirable, and a what looks to be a kind of like your classic orc. So not like your green skin big tusked orc, but more like almost like a were pig looking individual with bright green skin comes out and takes a hold of the tail. He's wearing a what looks to be a chef's apron. His hands are muddy and stuff. Like before he actually goes to grab the tail, he wipes it on the apron, making it streak with this like grease that he now stains his clothes with before grabbing onto the tail and taking it to what looks to be maybe a kitchen area behind a bar.
The fucking
A table,
ant rolls up
a
and
seat
down.
is definitely free.
I think she'll grab a hold of Ro and just go, "Be my good luck charm." Take a seat.
As you do so, the individuals turn and face you. The hobgoblin is the first to speak. Well, well, well. Can't say we've had someone of your soft skin in these parts before.
Oh well,
You
know,
lost.
look after it.
Sorry, I missed that little bit.
She just says, "Well, I do try and look after it." Her skin.
The goblin says, "Oh yes, having a good skincare routine is very important." The orc looks over at him. He goes, that's dumb. Whew. Cares about skincare. Definitely not me. Nope. I spit and things. Yeah. The orc's like, you know how to play cards.
I mean, it depends what you're playing, but I'm a fast learner.
We are playing Rivers and Raiders. Do you have any skills associated with gambling?
Other than a little fortune telling,
So, actually, you know what? Your fortune telling will help a little bit. So, Rivers and Raiders is a game very similar to the Varisian game known as Towers. Effectively, what it is there is a river that will be made in the middle of the board. The river will consist of various cards with various numbers. You'll be dealt out a hand, which will be your raiders. Certain raiders can cross certain borders. However, It is almost like a game of rock, paper, scissors. Depending on the suit that you use, will determine whether or not you can cross, but also who can defend and destroy your raiders.
Okay, sounds interesting actually.
The goal, effectively, is to play your cards well enough to cross over the river and take cards from your opponent's hand, then return back. Basically, if you have an empty hand, you lose, which is what happened to the lizard folk.
Yeah.
So, you are, like I said, familiar with this game.
I says, I'm familiar with it, but I hope money will suffice because, well, I don't have a tail to cut off.
I'm afraid money doesn't do well here, Grandma. I say Grandma because he doesn't know how old humans are. Well, actually, yeah, he does because he's a goblin, so he'd only be like 13. Anyway, he says, "You're going to have to offer something else." They look at you up and down and they say, "You are covered in some pretty shinies, though." What magic items is Agnes wearing?
Visibly, let's see.
Visibly.
She's got a pendant around her neck. I wouldn't see either of those. They're in her pocket. She does carry her tarot deck, which is technically magical, in a little pouch on her belt.
I'd say the
It's in
pendant would do fine.
And a flask that she carries is also magical.
They'll point at the pendant.
Yeah. Okay.
And they'll say, that piece of shiny.
Agnes will look at it and go, this. And she'll finger it fondly because she's had it a while, but very well.
So, you place it on the table?
Yes.
Okay. The orc says, this is what I offer. He throws down what looks to be a strange-looking triangular object with a bit of magnifying glass set into the center of it. It's a looking stone. For the record, this is the planchet for Thea. What's it called? It's called the. Ba-da-da-da.
It's the Ghost Colors planchette.
That one, yes. It's called planchet. The second individual puts down a ring. The goblin goes, yes, no, I've got this. And he spits out the ring and then puts it down. It's covered in goblin spit, but effectively it's a very powerful ring of wizardry. And Dante, what set have we been working on for you?
The Raiment of the Nine Tails is what I have listed.
I see. All right. Do we have a neck piece for you at the moment?
Give me a moment, because I might have typed it somewhere else. I did not. No, we just have the raiment because I only had one item.
All right, very well. You watch as the hobgoblin with gold teeth unfurls a scarf that he wears around his neck. He puts it down, and he basically shows it off. He says it's an elastic scarf, but it's also perfectly prehensile and functions as another limb with a 15-foot reach. It cannot wield weapons, but you can grab, climb, hold objects, etc. And it is a free action to change an item from your hand with an item from the scarf. Also counts towards the Radiant, which, of course, as you know, will give you another tail.
Gotcha.
Okay, these are the states. So, while this is happening, is anyone doing anything else while Agnes is discussing this gambling situation?
Um,
Okay.
what,
If
what else
no,
could we potentially do? Because
I
I
create a
think
world,
without
I fill it with people and places and things. You motivate yourselves to do anything your heart can imagine, and I will build around it. You're at a pub, you're at a tavern, you're looking for something, there's a gambling thing, Agnes is over there with Alazaro.
I suppose Alexander will just take a drink and just listen to people.
Okay. Heading over to the bar, you can see that the bartender is what looks to be a rather broad-shouldered looking Caligny. He asks, "What do you want to drink?"
Whatever you recommend.
He looks you up and down. He comes back with what looks to be just a jar of some sort of bubbling, foaming liquid.
All right. I'll drink it.
Okay. Make a fortitude save.
Oh.
A very common drink here, Orcish Rotgut, is a delicacy of Belkzen, and an acquired taste for anyone who is not an orc.
That is 28.
It is difficult to swallow and burns very spicy. Even though it temperature-wise isn't hot, you feel your body heating up the moment you drink it. But otherwise, it's not the worst you've had.
Good thing I like spicy food.
You begin to listen around, and you hear a variety of different rumors, mostly surrounding ghosts that seem to be moving through the area. Lots of people talking about that being nonsense. Other people saying that the ghosts are a sign of bad fortunes to come. Lots of people also talking about a particular warlord by the name of what was his name? Banra. No, but yeah, Banagar Skullbrank. Skull Splitter. I'm going to call him Skull Splitter because I can't remember what it was. Anagar Skull Splitter is, currently making passes to the north, and lots of people are moving to the south, which is causing, people to like war over territory more than usual. A lot of different, I guess, orcish politics seem to be underway here. Okay, Rykon, anything?
Well, while patching himself up, he is going to watch the game, curious about it.
Sure. Okay, so you and Alazaro are kind of standing next to one another watching the gambling game as it goes through. Now, as this happens, both of you are in a position to assist if you would like. So, there are going to be 3 roles involved with this session, or with the gambling. Okay? The first is your honest to God luck roll. You're going to roll, and I'm going to have the chat, the first 3 people, represent the hobgoblin, the goblin, and the orc, in that order, which will just kind of determine who's got the strongest hand at any given time. After 3 rounds, we'll determine the victors based on the results. During this time, you may use thievery if you would like to alter the effects. You may use deception in order to distract people. Um, yeah, that kind of thing. Or you could even try your luck at intimidating someone to leaving the hand. I don't recommend that one though, because if you fail it, they will. Yeah, the things will get harder for you if you fail an intimidate check here.
Huh.
Sound good?
Yeah, I have a skill called Aura Sight, which just as long as I concentrate on someone for like a minute, I could be doing something else while it's going on. So like this whole conversation kind of thing, and it just allows me to get the target's current apparent attitude towards you, friendly, indifferent, so on. The target's current apparent emotional state, um, a general
Oh, sure. You can use this.
mental health. I can only do
Let,
it once per hour, so I think she'll
how
maybe
about this?
out what she
I'll
thinks.
let you. I'll let you. How about this? Because ultimately, I want you using your abilities for what benefits you. So let's say because of your ability and the fact that you're using it, let's give you a +2 bonus to your to these checks as you make them because you're utilizing this ability as you go.
Cool, like reading the room while reading the table.
Yeah. All right. So make me a flat D20 roll and chat exclamation D20. Our first 3 results are going to be what we use. So this is your hand. This is how lucky your hand happens to be as you draw your cards.
I got a 16.
So
Oh, sorry,
Schoolyeye.
I forgot. Sorry, I did forget. There's a 4th person there. It's the guy with the mole claws. I did forget.
Oh yeah.
He'll what will he offer up? I'm going to say that he is going to offer up a whip. It's a taskmaster whip that helps people, or helps slaves, should I say, perform better when given instruction.
Oh Jesus.
Mm.
Oh,
Jeez,
so we have
indeed.
Schoolyeye with 12,
Mhm.
Rain with a nat 20,
Dang.
OG with 12, and Christina
Mhm.
with 18.
Okay, so the strongest hands are the mole and the goblin with the eye patch. And Laura, what'd you get?
16.
Okay, so the mole and the goblin are the 2 that are above you. Now, this is just round 1. Do you wish to play fair, or do you wish to try and cheat at this point? Right now, you don't have a bad hand.
So there's mole, goblin, me, and then who are the other 2? Just
The orc and the hobgoblin.
so, um. First off, I'll play fair.
Okay. So right now you're in 3rd place. The mole guy seems to have
Oh
the
wait, does
stronger
that
hand.
2 apply to the 16 or not?
Sorry.
If the +2 applied to that roll, it would have been 18 because I rolled a 16.
Oh, it should have, yes. So okay, with an 18, so you and the goblin are roughly the same strength. So you're both coming in 2nd. The orc is having a bit of trouble. He seems frustrated as he looks at his cards. The river was not very lucky in his favor, and he needs to exchange a few cards in order to hopefully be able to cross. The hobgoblin has some pretty decent cards, but can't get too many across, and will need to steal better cards in order to try and curry favor. You and the goblin, however, have a number of ways to pass across, which means you're almost guaranteed to at least get a few bits of loot this round. However, the mole person has a means to not only get people across, but has some powerful cards to defend his territory as well. So you begin to play as everyone puts down their cards and begins to play their turns. The second round occurs, and we'll get everyone to roll me a d20 again, please. Again in chat, exclamation d20, as we see how they go in the second round. Also, Rykon and Cass, if you would like to interject at any point in time, you may do so.
Wow, I rolled a 1. +2.
Ooh.
You could use a hero point.
Can you use a hero point?
I could, yeah. I might use a hero point because that one's terrible.
All right, hero point it.
Well, it's a 10. It's moderately better. No, 9, 10, 11.
All right, 11 it is. So, what did we get for the first 4 results? The starting with Hobgoblin.
Rain with
9.
18. Wait, is that the new one? Yes, that is the new one. Rain with 18, Sene with 9, Schoolii with 4, and Christina with 1.
Ooh, okay. The orc drops out. Christina, can I get you to re-roll, please? And I'm going to use a jinx point to have the mole guy re-roll. The hobgoblin is now seizing an advantage here. Even though he didn't have much that could cross over, he did manage to successfully steal a few bits and pieces. The goblin, however, got kind of turned around and didn't use his skills to the best of his ability. The orc drops out of the battle.
Christina
As
re-rolled
he is
into
now
a
out
nat
of rounds.
20.
Oh, the mole guy is a perfect defense. And manages. He's the one who actually knocks out the orc. And in addition to knocking out the orc, he also gains a decent hand size from the raids and the like. He turns around and he says, "Well, that's just because, you shouldn't be playing this game with a real raider. We know how to take what we want, and we're going to take this whole pot. You better believe it." This is like the second nat 20 he's made. Okay, third round. As you now have
I
the
guess we'll employ a little bit of deception-y this time round.
Sure.
Not how though.
Well, in this particular case, you can either swap cards or you can play a bluff to tell people, to kind of use your just kind of subtle hand gestures and eye contact in order to make people believe you're going to be playing in a particular way.
Yeah, I think that one. I think she's more used to that style of things, to be honest with you.
All right, make a diplomacy. Sorry, make a deception check.
She may even do not saying what's in her hand, but maybe he's making comments to Rose if Rose new to the game and she's like, "Oh no, if you've got a hand like this."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, deception.
Okay.
Did you say to roll a deception check? Did you or?
Yes, I did.
I said 28.
Oh, nice. Okay. With the 28, that'll give you another +2, giving you a +4 on your d20 roll. Chat, could I get exclamation d20s? We only need the first 3, and
So they already did roll ahead of time for us.
oh, good.
Rain with 8, Sene with 12, Schoolii with 13.
Ooh, okay. Schoolii, I'm going to use a jinx point, and we'll get you to re-roll. Unfortunately, the hobgoblin does not manage to stick around to this round. The goblin might, depending on what Laura gets on hers.
Schoolii re-rolled into a 15.
Okay, it's pretty good. Laura, what did Agnes get?
17.
Ooh, okay. Agnes manages to seize the advantage from the the mole rider. At this point, the hobgoblin drops out as well, leaving the goblin, the mole, and Agnes remaining. The goblin at this point sort of looks and I'm going to cash out, and he will also bow out. He sees the two of you, and you have one final check to make. This time, however, I need a perception check from you, please. And Rykon and Cass, you can make this as well.
I would like to use a hero point just because of how low I rolled.
Sure, not a problem.
I rolled a 5 on the die with a plus 19, so
Just to be clear, you did say perception, yes?
I did.
yes, perception. I rolled the same number, so it's 24.
36.
I only rolled a 20.
Cool. Okay, Alizaro, you are the only one who notices that the Mole Rider is cheating. He has another set of cards underneath his gloves, which he's using to win. He is about to win against Agnes. What would you like to do?
Let me look at my skills real quick. Oh, I'm not trained in that at all.
I mean, you could always just come out
Could
and say it.
I'm debating between coming out and saying it or using a using a deception check to like very subtly give Agnes the clue in so that Agnes can call it out. And I think that's what I would like to do if I can.
Sure, not a problem. Now, keeping in mind, with your deception check, you could also potentially counter his cheating by either disabling it or allowing Agnes to cheat as well.
I would
If you
like
wanted to.
Yeah. I think what Ro would do is she would want to very subtly give Agnes the clue in because she's not actually playing the game and she wouldn't want to accidentally make it worse. Because she already screwed up at
make
the
a
post
stealth check.
office. Stealth check? Or deception? Okay. Cool. Alright, let me go down here. Woo. That's a 21.
Nice. Chat exclamation D20, and he gets a plus 11.
Schoolie with a nat 1.
Is that the first one?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Dang, he does not notice. All right, Agnes, you have been clued in.
I don't think that. I'm not sure that fussed about the whole cheating. Maybe I don't know if she wants to cause a scene either. She kind of wants to get in with these people rather than. So is there any way that she can maybe turn this around to her advantage without like calling him out, if you know what I mean? She's got an extra set of cards because Agnes is not good on the whole thievery side of things. Sorry, did you say he had an extra set of cards? Oh wait, no.
Oh yes, he has extra cards in his gloves.
I
So
had a
if your
feeling he
goal is to
did.
try and make him lose to lose cards, if he has cards in his glove, it means he'll never lose. You know what I mean?
Okay. So is there a way to like counteract that or still win? Because she doesn't want to call him out. Well, not publicly. Linguistic, auditory, cantrip.
If you want to, you can use a diplomacy check in order to try and sort of use like sort of the double speak thing, to try and like let
Well,
him know that you're
I
involved.
I can message him like magically. So she'll just look at
Oh,
him like over the top of her cards in the eyes, and she'll kind of like just mouth the words because she kind of has to. But he'll just kind of hear, now, dearie, let's play fair.
okay. He stares at you for a moment with kind of like the usual kind of like coy look, but then I guess he kind of like changes his demeanor, almost as if he's almost inquiring, as if like, oh yeah, well, what are you going to do about it?
Not cause a scene where everyone here will see all those gloves shoved up, those cards shoved up your gloves.
Make an intimidate check. Pretty good.
23.
Okay. He turns around and he chooses to fold instead of playing the final round. All right. You take the pot of magic items and the like. The others are like, well, what the hell, what the hell was that? And the mole rider says, it's getting late, and I should, uh, I should try and, I should try and make my way back up to the surface. After all, I'd rather do some real raiding um, rather than just pretend raiding.
Oh, you're going up to the surface, are you? Well, perhaps you'd like to at least earn some coin.
He looks you up and down and he smiles. He says, sure, why not? But we're leaving now.
Oh, she looks around for everybody else.
It's not hard for you to find everyone.
Drink up, we're leaving now.
All right. You drink up, you gather up, and you get into the and you get on your way. Heading to the stables, you can see a large variety of these massive looking moles, each of which seem to have a Caligny rider that wears like these kind of thick goggles and face mask and have these thick sheets of wet materials to cover their flesh, to protect them from the sun, which they hate so very much. As as they prepare to set out, um, they introduce themselves as Torva and his riders. Uh, they're basically just your very typical kind of like aggressive, thuggy kind of individuals. They don't really ask you guys any questions. They just say, if you need to go to the surface, just hang on. We'll take you there, but after that, you're on your own, wherever you need to go. We're not like, um, we're not taking you to a town or to a village. We're just taking you straight up.
I mean, if that works for everybody, obviously, I know I've kind of just
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, getting on these moles, they begin to move, climbing upwards and higher, eventually making their way up to the surface as you breach riding atop these massive, big floored moles. The surface is as you'd expect, still kind of blighted and very orangey gray, and very few plant life or anything. The sky seems to be cloudy, and not too far away from where you happen to be, you see exactly what you've been searching for. About a 10-mile trek just to the north of where you are lies the castle of Scarwall.
I just
Is it
will
like
thank them and pay them whatever they ask for, as long as it seems like a reasonable amount, if you know what I mean.
They'll ask for 3 silver for the trip.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And then I think she'll just say to the dude that she beat at cards if he's there, just like, no hard feelings. This strikes me as the kind of place where, well, you've got to do whatever you can to get along, eh?
He smiles and says, "Yeah, and sometimes that just means making sure that things stay in your favor."
And she just like winks and lets him get on his way.
Okay. So, you guys have here. You guys have arrived.
And she'll turn to Lizard. Right, well, you're a right good lucky charm there. Next time I go playing cards, I'm bringing you with me.
Next time I'll pick.
So, did either of you boys learn anything?
I learned that some orc leader is making a move up in the north, and everybody's coming down south.
Oh, great. So a civil war on top of everything else. Well, can you have a civil war in a place that doesn't really have a strict... Well, anyway. It might at least be a distraction.
Other than that, the only other thing that I heard is just speculations of ghosts moving about. And some of the locals down there seem to think that it was an ill omen.
Yes, well, everyone always thinks ghosts are ill omens, but that's not always the case. And now that we're out here, like just kind of in the middle of nowhere, she'll release Ronald.
Speaking of ghosts.
Speaking of ghosts, she just pulls one out of her pocket.
All right, well, he definitely comes out. As he does so, he manifests and says directly, "You summoned."
Oh, right, yes. Well, we're not in a place where you're just going to scare the bejesus out of everybody we'll pass. So I thought, might be nice to get out in the real world a bit, socialize and whatnot.
He looks around at the blighted landscape, the cursed-looking castle, the grey sky.
Not the best sight, I know, but I have to make do with what we've got.
I see. Well, thank you, I suppose.
Um, right, so What's the plan then, folks? Are we just gonna walk right up to the castle and just knock on the wee door, or hand over your sword?
Yeah, coughing and dying.
Not allowed.
You said we could see the castle from where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's gotta be pretty big then.
Mm-hmm.
I could fly ahead and see how many patrols or what the outer perimeter looks like once we get close enough. I don't think I can fly 10 miles in one go.
Well, you say this. However, you feel something change within you. Something seems drastically different. You say this as, I can't fly 10 miles, and you gesture towards the castle when your arm suddenly extends another 10 foot. And then your other arm, and then your body. And miraculously, you transform into a 15-foot by 15-foot large secretary bird.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that, dearie.
I didn't know I could do that either. What the heck? Well,
Magnificent, dear.
am I gonna be able to change back? And she's like squawking between words because she's freaking out, and the frills on the back of her head are just like all the way out, like super wild and waving everywhere.
Have you tried just thinking small thoughts?
I don't
The
think I.
moment your mind goes back towards not flying over there or not traveling over there, you find yourself shrinking back down to a normal size. However, you can no longer use this ability for another hour.
Well,
Maybe somebody can give you a few pointers.
maybe we should get a little bit closer before that happens again. And maybe when I get close enough, maybe Dante and Holly can fly. So I would just need to carry you and Alexander, but maybe I'd be big enough. And you see her like looking at her arms specifically and like watching her wings for any sort of like weird discoloration or anything, and testing her wings to make sure they still work like she's used to.
Yeah, but no, now that you're back in your usual form, you look exactly as normal.
Oh, that's new. Okay. Let's. I don't think we're close enough to get any good sight on it anyway. So let's go a little bit, and then maybe we can figure out a plan.
What are you talking about? You look and you can see the castle right there.
I thought you said it was 10 miles.
It is. You can see it. There's no terrain between you and it.
Okay, so it's on flat land. Could just completely flat out in the open. We would be able to see any patrols on the inner walls from where we're at.
You are aware it's an abandoned fortress of a long dead hero.
Okay.
Also, I
Well,
guess pull out the loot that you got in the gambling pot, and Anyway, we got this. Also,
What'd you get?
Yeah, I can't see you gesture because you know you're not on camera.
No, so she'll just hold up the objects that she got from the gambling, and show them to everybody. There was a scroll. The
Can I identify them with Arcana?
I think I have a skill called oddity identification as well. I'm not sure what that does.
It kind of lets you identify certain curios and like occult things. What are you guys doing?
I asked if I could identify them with Arcana.
Identify the objects? Sure.
Yes.
You identify the objects.
All right, that is
Given that they're
a
all stuff from donations.
well, yes, but
So I'm just handing them out to you guys. So you're responsible now for them being on your character sheet. If they're not on your character sheet, you don't have them.
Mhm.
we're just gonna have to remind Thea next week.
Mhm.
Alexander slips on the ring. It's perfect.
Mhm.
So now our goal is to get into an abandoned fortress of a hero.
Well, I'm not entirely sure it's abandoned.
Well, as far as we're aware, it's abandoned.
Are we? Is it not like a bastion? Or are we? I was under the impression that the way we wanted to be was like bastion, fully armed, and that could be wrong.
Well,
Oh,
we could
no,
have.
it's an old fortress. It's dilapidated. It's been moved into. It's been moved out of. It's kind of like it. You have no idea what could be around there.
So it's Schrodinger's fortress currently. Okay. Well, yes, exactly. Not really sure whether it's occupied or not at the moment. So I suppose, yeah, we'll just get there and find out and see what happens. That's usually how we do things, isn't it?
Yeah, we do tend to walk headfirst into danger, don't we? Well, let's go walk headfirst into danger. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
I mean, if you want to know, I could probably find out for you. Might take me 10 minutes.
I think it'll take longer than that to walk, but unless
No, I mean to find out what's the worst that could happen.
oh yeah, that's right. You're all psychic and stuff.
But for now, let's just get walking.
In the company of our group and the ghostly visage of Ronald that has been summoned for a stroll for some reason, our heroes begin to make their way the 10-mile journey towards the fortress. As they get closer, the air grows colder. The Badlands give way to what looked to be almost like a small shower of rain and the clap of thunder overhead. Scarwall is an impressive sight indeed. And as you get closer, there is something ominous and dark, rooted within the walls and the cornerstone here. Even Ronald says that there is definitely some entity, some force beyond the veil of mortality that is here. He urges you all to be careful, lest Scarwall be your resting place as well. And that is where we're going to end today's session, with our heroes arriving at Scarwall, prepared to embark on the dungeon crawl that is involved with Scarwall. Yay!
Yeah.
Which is going to be just in time for me to use Fantasy Grounds for maps for Scarwall.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right, guys, it is 4 a.m., so we are going to swiftly move through here. So starting off, we are going to say thank you everyone for coming and joining to see us. Thank you to all the people who subscribed and who followed, for all the people who donated. Thank you again, Cookie, for the donation to turn Alizaro into a giant bird. And of course, thank you to my players for being here, having a great time. And we didn't get to through too much, but you guys got to obliterate the ooze, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, hopefully you guys had a good time, and we'll see you guys next week. So, guys, from us to you, stay hot, stay safe, stay wonderful, be kind to each other because why the fuck not? It's free. And until we meet again, game hard or die trying. Bye.